something unusual is happening. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, is reportedly working on a smartphone. Now, at first, that might not sound like a big deal. Another tech company entering the hardware space. But this is different, because OpenAI isn't trying to build a better iPhone. They're trying to replace what a smartphone even is. And if the leaks are even partially true, this could be the biggest shift in personal technology since the iPhone itself. To understand this, you need to understand OpenAI's direction. For years, OpenAI focused on software, language models, chat interfaces, AI assistants. But over time, something became clear. AI works best when it's deeply integrated into your daily life, not just in a browser, not just in an app, but everywhere. And what is the one device that's always with you? Your phone. Think about how you use your phone today. You unlock it, open apps, switch between tasks, search, type, scroll. Everything is fragmented. Apps control the experience, not you. Now imagine removing that layer entirely. No apps, no switching, no searching. Just one interface, AI. That's the vision. This rumored OpenAI phone is being described as an AI-first smartphone. That means AI isn't a feature, it's the operating system. Instead of navigating your phone, you communicate with it. You don't open apps, you give instructions. Let's break it down. Instead of opening a travel app, booking tickets, messaging someone, checking calendar, you simply say, "Book me a flight to New York next Friday, message my manager, and block my calendar." And the AI does it. Not suggests, not guides, does it. That's the difference. This concept is called agent-based computing. Instead of tools, you have an agent, a system that understands intent, breaks tasks into steps, executes them, verifies results, and adapts over time. This is what models like GPT 5.5 are already moving toward. The phone is just the hardware layer for it. If this works, apps disappear. Think about that. The entire app economy gone or transformed. Because why would you download apps, manage updates, switch interfaces when one AI can do everything? Now here's the important part. You can't just run this on any phone. This requires high-performance AI processing, low latency, on-device intelligence. That's why reports suggest OpenAI is working with Qualcomm, MediaTek to develop custom chips optimized for AI. These chips won't just run apps, they'll run models. That means faster responses, offline capabilities, more privacy, and significantly less reliance on cloud processing. There are also rumors that legendary Apple designer Jony Ive is involved. If true, that changes everything, because it means this device won't just function differently, it will look different. Imagine this. You wake up. Your phone already knows your schedule, your priorities, your habits. You don't check notifications. It tells you what matters. You don't search. It presents relevant information. You don't plan. It assists automatically. The real power here is context. This AI wouldn't just respond, it would remember, learn, adapt. Over time, it becomes personalized, deeply. But this raises a huge question: privacy. Because for this to work, the AI needs access to messages, emails, calendar, location, behavior. That's a lot of data, and trust becomes critical. The more powerful AI becomes, the more dangerous misuse becomes. So OpenAI would need strong security, local processing, transparent controls. Otherwise, people won't adopt it. Now, let's be clear. This phone is not launching tomorrow. Most credible estimates suggest Development phase 2026 to 2027. Possible release 2027 to 2028. This is a long-term play because this isn't just a phone. It requires hardware, software, new user behavior. That takes time. If OpenAI succeeds, every major company will respond. Apple, Google, Samsung, all of them. Because this threatens their core model. Apple focuses on hardware plus ecosystem. OpenAI focuses on intelligence plus execution. If AI becomes the primary interface, that gives OpenAI a huge advantage.
But there's a downside. Over-reliance. If AI handles everything, do we lose skills? Do we lose control? These are real concerns. Governments will step in because data access, decision-making, and automation all need oversight. This isn't just about phones. It's about human plus AI integration, daily, constant, seamless. If this works, you won't think about your phone. It just works, in the background, helping constantly. If it fails, it becomes another experiment, like early smart assistants. Interesting, but limited. We won't jump instantly. There will be hybrid systems, apps plus AI, gradual shift. Think about how many notifications you get every day. Messages, emails, alerts, updates. Most of them don't matter, but they still demand your attention. Now imagine a system where you never see notifications because the AI filters everything, only showing what truly matters. That's not just convenience, that's control over your attention. We are overloaded. Too many apps, too many choices, too many decisions, and every tap is a micro-decision. AI-first devices aim to remove that friction, reducing digital noise and increasing clarity. Imagine your phone remembers everything, not just data, but context, conversations, preferences, patterns. It becomes a memory layer for your life, helping you recall what you forgot. In the future, AI won't just respond, it will decide, suggest better routes, better schedules, better options, not forcing decisions, but optimizing them. Life moves fast, and technology is catching up. With AI, decisions shrink, tasks collapse, time compresses, and suddenly you're doing more with less effort. That's it. If you like this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel.